Hi everyone, Nancy at the Treasure Home, and welcome to Wednesday Night Live. I was looking for lipstick. We had to put everything away. The drill this month was inspection month, and they did come and change the filter and all that good stuff. So now everything is fine for 6 months. But what was funny was not next door. 3 doors down, they went into, the manager went into, and then next door to them. But the maintenance guy, because the maintenance garage type thing is over here. So they were just hanging out and doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing. And then when the office manager came around, they scattered and they didn't show back up like they normally do all day long. So that was funny. So, you know, yeah, there we go. So we had a good day. It's always kind of like a pins and needle type thing, but overall, it's been good. So, okie dokie. On to, so, welcome Rebecca and those in the chat, our TV watchers and our replay watchers. So, thank y'all so much for being here. And I gotta do something with this hair. It just bugs me. So, we're gonna get started with what I've been doing. Alright, so last Wednesday, in those videos, I got all the stuff coming out now this week and stuff for I went out with and met up with Misha Lee, the Gypsy, and Vanilla Gorilla, Jeff and Tammy. A Hug travels with Chris and her husband, and Misha's friend Evan. So I got all that coming out and everything. I just got to finish editing and everything. So we had such a great time. We really did. And I was like, okie dokie. We're going to do the ins and outs. And this is just, I need to put something on my lips because I just can't. There's no color. And hey, Jane Doe. I have some kind of color. At least to start off with, and then if it comes off, it comes off. There we go. Alrighty, because I need no makeup, not nothing. Alright, so they do have an allergy, not menu, but it's a chart, and it'll tell you about the different allergies, whether it's got dairy, soy, eggs, wheat, and all that. So when you go to a restaurant, ask. Nowadays, they usually have something that they'll show you or you can look at. So, but they did tell me they had it was a vegetarian or vegan menu also. So I thought that was pretty cool. But we got the buffet, and I went ahead. Yes, I did try some of the brats. There was one that was in a gravy that. It was all right. I don't mind spicy, but I don't want too spicy. So I did have that. I had a salad, and then they had 2 different types of sauerkraut. One had the caraway seeds, the other one was sweet. When I'm more used to the sweet, so I like the sweet better than, I don't want to say sour, but I guess you could, than the other one. And then I had potato salad. Not that I can't have potatoes. Potatoes just increase my inflammation. So, but I wanted the potato salad. There was German potato salad, and then they had the red potato salad. So that was so good. It was like, But next year, if we happen to do it again, I'll be able to get the dessert, because then the Anastasia will be out of her maintenance phase into the out of the build-up phase into the main phase, and then we can have dairy and stuff. Right now, we still cannot have dairy at all. It's still almond milk and vegan cheese and everything like that. So that I'll mention something like that on the live Friday night because someone on the cooking channel, I read the first few parts of the comment and then I just did away with it because like if you're not paying attention to why we're dairy free, you need to go back and watch. I have something on my computer. So I was talking to Misha through Instagram and everything, and then Monday night, because she was like, I was wondering if you had a reaction or not to anything. So the next I would say, so we finished eating about 7. We got home about 9 because we sat around and talked and everything. We were outside. So it was either later that night or because I did it live anyway, and I was itching some, but I really didn't have. I was just itching, not so much like a flare up like I would have like right through here or anything. And actually, my arm, it doesn't look better now, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But let me clean that lens. Okay, so this had completely gone down. It was just pink and wasn't inching or anything like that. So I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. So did I have a reaction? Not a reaction like I would say a reaction, but just the itching, and then that was it. So it could have been, a spice or something another that I had, not knowing, what's a lot of stuff that they cook stuff in. And all right. So when I put lotion, this is my castor oil and olive oil blend, and I've got eucalyptus in it. So when I put that on, the redness goes down. So as far as eating at Schmidt's, there is stuff I could have if I wanted to do just a plate. Well, most of the plates were $19 and the buffet's $25. So it's like, by the time you just paying for the buffet, and so that's what we all got was the buffet. And I got honey mustard for the salad, but I did not have any tomatoes, so because I had the potatoes, because I didn't want to hurt too much the next day. So it was all good, and we had lots of fun. But it's like when you go to restaurants now, ask, do they have a allergy menu, or do they have a chart of what food has what in it? Because a lot of stuff that I could have if I had ordered it was on the bar anyway, the food bar. So I was just forget it. This is once in a while thing that I get to do. So that's why I had it. I'm trying to make sure I get that liked, I went ahead and had fun that night. So then I started the Daniel fast the next day. And so that was Friday. And I was going to try to sit there and post every day. That's just too much for me because I'm doing so many other things. So I did post like the first and second day, a couple of things like that and everything. So basically, the eggs, and yes, I had cheese because it's a vegan cheese and everything. Then I think I made a salad, and I was like, oh, I have this chicken I want to use, and I'm like, no meat. I'm not going to do any meat. So I didn't do that, but I just made a salad. And then one day I had like oatmeal for breakfast with blueberries. Then I had, because I've got it written down, the salad. Then I had other things. Hold on. Is this the one I want? Yes. All right. So oatmeal, beans, and I did have breadsticks because I didn't want to hurt my daughter-in-law's feeling, so I had the breadsticks. But I ate a lot of beans for a couple of days. And then had peanut butter on a slice of raisin bread. And then I was itching around 10 p.m. or so. So I was thinking it's the peanut butter because all day long I had the eggs and I had my beans. I could have beans I made. So I had that like a bean soup and no itching. And then after I ate the peanut butter or so, like a sandwich, I had the itching. I don't know. I was just like, it's funny because now I'll get to why I'm itching now. So I make notes, make notes to keep a journal. I've got a notebook itself for my food journal and everything. And I need to write in tonight, but I've got pages. See, I started up again, and I am up to here in October. So I started this back in August 21st. I started because that's when my first shots was August 21st. And so I started with a log of what was going on, what I'm eating, if I'm itching a couple hours afterwards, or if an hour or what I'm eating, or like I'm starting to eat and 30 minutes later, something's going on. So that's what I'm still doing with the Daniel fast. And then the 20th, so the 19th was the breakfast, was 2 eggs, the beans, and then the peanut butter with a slice of raisin bread. That's not something I ate for dinner. And I didn't have anything else because I was full from the beans. So let's see here. The 20th was Monday. The 19th was Sunday. So Saturday, the 18th, I had oatmeal with blueberries, and I had my little spice. And of course, I say I don't have chocolate, but I had chocolate anyway. But I didn't itch. So lunch, I had beans, and then the dinner, I had beans. So like I said, I made that big pot of beans. And then the 17th, which was Friday, I had breakfast was 2 eggs. Lunch was rice cakes with peanut butter and jelly, but I didn't itch. See, that's what the thing is. I didn't itch after that. Then I had a snack with walnuts and cranberries. And dinner was my beans, because like I said, I made a big pot of beans, so I knew I could eat it a few days in a row. And I had some fruit cups. And then I had, I said hodgepodge. Well, one thing I did notice, I had put cumin in the beans as a spice and everything. And I may have, I don't know, allergies, the windows open and everything. So I don't think it was the cumin. We just had the windows open those few days and everything because it's nice and cool. We can let the house breathe out, and air out from being all stuffed up in the summertime and the AC going. So, okay, then the 20th, which was Monday, I had my mud water coffee that I still have. So I had that 3 days in a row. I put coffee down. I should put that down. But I had an alternative coffee for 3 days because I want to see, just to see, is it coffee or, I've done that before. It's the same. If I was in the morning cough, the morning cough. So I was like, okay. All right, so then Monday I had the eggs, lunch, and then Monday night, chicken green bean. They made chicken green bean casserole, and I had some itching, but nothing else. Now, like right here, I can feel it, but it's not itching. It's like a tightness right here on my left eye. So we try to figure out the spices, whatever. And the reason why I stopped the Daniel fast Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is because of inspection. We're trying to get things put away and cleaned up, and you can't have nothing on the counters except for the bread box and the microwave and maybe the coffee pot. This lady does was crazy. She's just irritating. So in order to make sure we got everything cleaned up and put away or whatever we need to do and everything, and not cooking so we don't make a mess or whatever. That's why I stopped for the 3 days, because they had the chicken. It was a green bean casserole. And it was just some itching, but it was nothing. And potatoes. I had potatoes. Did I have any aches the next day after eating potatoes? Yeah, I probably did, especially my hands were all tight. But I know what that's from. So yesterday, breakfast was oatmeal and blueberries with the spice mix, regular coffee and water. Then I had a chicken wrap, and I just took a regular tortilla wrap. Did chicken, lettuce, and chickpeas with honey mustard and homemade honey mustard and everything. And I didn't put any cheese on it. I just did that because I was like, it was something quick and easy, not messy, didn't have a whole lot to clean up or anything. Because we put stuff, use a dishwasher as a storage. The reason why we stopped using the dishwasher for right now, that's because we want to see if that's what's using the water bill up, putting the water bill up higher than was. I mean, we could sit down and wash dishes in 15 minutes compared to the dishwasher running for an hour. So I said I'm not going to use the dishwasher because I'm the one that likes the dishwasher. Put everything in the dishwasher and then turn it on and let it go. So I was like, okay, for 3 months, we're not going to use the dishwasher. We're going to test and see what's supposed to be using so much water, because there's no sense of the water bill being like it is. So that's what I had for lunch. And then last night, we had Tyson chicken nuggets and tater tots. Okay, so pre-made chicken nuggets and pre-made tater tots. And I know I shouldn't be eating those. Like I said, it was quick and easy. I didn't have to make dinner. It was pre-made, put it in the oven, let it cook, whatever you did. Yeah, I know now what I cannot have. I cannot have that, because this right here is the reason why it's flared up again. And it's itching, and I want to do this to it, but I just rub it instead. So, chalk one down. We know now what not to eat. So that's why I write this down. What happens? So I had Tyson chicken nuggets, tater tots, itching 3 hours later on left arm. And it was, of course, right here. And then right here was itching. Right here is itching. Right here, the wrist spot came back up. And this part of my eye, for some reason, kind of like, I don't want to say tingles, but kind of like feels like it's tight. It tightens for some reason or another. I have no idea. I don't know what it does or why it does that. So I'm like, okay, now I know. Can I have that? So tonight, after all said and done, nobody really wanted to cook, so we did fix. They got the pre-made chicken patties. I want to say it's Tyson brand again, and so we all had chicken patties, and I'll tell you in a minute. And then I have the turkey lunch meat from Land O'Lakes, and I made me a sandwich. And I had mayo, mustard, lettuce, then 2 chicken sandwiches with an egg on it and everything. And I had some Fritos. I got Fritos. Yes. So the Daniel fast for 3 days was stopped completely because had to go get everything together and cleaned or whatever and put away. But I learned tonight the pre-made chicken patties are a no-go. Can I have those because it won't long after, maybe an hour after I ate those. And this is, and now it's itching again. So I've got to see what's in the ingredients on those, what kind of preservatives it has or whatever. Hey, Dio. Oh, thank you so much. You have a good evening too. So, and then and see what the ingredients are and write them down, and then I can ask the, my allergist, is there a test for these things? Can we find out more about it? Because it's like something there is making me have a reaction. Now, as far as the Land O'Lakes lunch meat, when I've had that lunch meat before and I've used it by itself, I did not nothing. I don't have nothing happens because yeah, I had made that yesterday for lunch. I didn't itch. I had that the chicken. Now tonight I had the turkey, but yeah, I had the chicken yesterday as a wrap. Nothing happened or anything. No itching until after I had the Tyson pre-made chicken. But they get the dinosaur chicken nuggets because those things are huge. And I'm like, my son looked at me with the tater tots. I had to tell him, hey, no, that's enough. So I'm like, okay. So now it's good to sit there and do that. Yeah, you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing. It's going to make me, but write it down if you have, like, sometimes, like I was reading in that book, and then if your allergy is bad enough, like Anastasia, when before she started her immunology therapy, if she had just touched the residue of milk, she would just break out in hives. That's how severe her allergy is. Now, yeah, if it's that severe, stay away from it. Hey, Misha, how you doing? But, like some people have those severe allergies to eggs and milk and soy and peanut butter and shellfish and nuts and them. Some of it, sometimes it's chocolate, sometimes it's strawberries, and always see if you think you're having a food allergy, get tested. But doing good. We are doing good today. We made it through the day. So but then that book, I was also saying that sometimes your allergy, can go, it could be 3 hours later, it can be up to 72 hours later. So sometimes you may have symptoms 2 or 3 days later and don't understand, like a cough. Where did this cough come from? And, your body is reacting to something that, you've ate or whatever. That's why I sit there let's do these tests now. I want to figure out what's going on. And a lot of mine is outside allergies. But, yesterday we didn't have, so yesterday was Tuesday. We didn't have the windows open until after they came home from grocery shopping, which was probably around 1 or so. And then we had a storm come through last night about 7 o'clock. And I was like, you talking about it getting cold. It got really cold. But, the wind's blowing and some pollen is in the air. So the itching could have been from that, but I don't think so. I was like I said, I ate the chicken nuggets and it started itching. And then tonight after I ate the breaded chicken, I started itching. So I was like, oh. okay, sometimes, you want those quick, easy meals and everything. And then, we see stuff on YouTube or Facebook or Pinterest that they use those things to do kind of casseroles. And I'm just like, they can have it because I'm just like, no, it's not worth it. So I will be starting back up on the Daniel fast tomorrow. And I'm going to take a picture. Within 24 hours, this had gone down so much. It was just a light pink. So it's whatever I ate tonight flared this up, especially right here. And I saw that and I was like, let's go on away. Let's go on away. So I'm like, okay, we're going to start this up. But I am the week of, not next week, the week after is the beginning of November is Anastasia's birthday. So I'm going to do this for 14 days. So tomorrow, or 7 days, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, for 12 days. And I know I'm breaking it up, but I'm just like, things happen in between when I started and everything. But I'm going to do it for 12 days. And then after Anastasia's birthday, I probably might pick up and do 3 days. But I was like, it's really cool to see when you stop eating certain things, what your body does. How, especially if you've got flare-ups and everything, and it's like, really, could it be coming from that? But how are you supposed to get your protein? And so Rebecca and I listened to a video today from the biblical nutritionist, Annette Reader, about how you get your proteins and how much protein you're supposed to have a day. And we thought that was really interesting. And I was just like, well, and she showed doing it with meat and doing it plant-based. And I'm like, oh, we got some chickpeas in there. So last week on the cooking channel, I was trying to do the bean burger. And yeah, I was just doing seat of my pants. I did not even look at a recipe or anything. And I didn't even form it in a hamburger patty with my hands or nothing. And I was like, we're just going to see if this works. It did, yeah. So I will go back to square one with that and kind of research it more to see what you're supposed to do and everything. So I'll redo that on the cooking channel. But that was pretty good. It tasted really well. I did a chickpea burger, and then I did I guess you would say a mixed bean burger because it was the black beans, but black eyed peas, and kidney beans that I had cooked. That was my beans that I was eating. And I just mashed that up and, just mash it up. I had some flaxseed to it and everything, and the liquid that was in there, it all came together. I should have used an egg, but I think a whole egg would have been too much. And it all came together, but it just didn't fry up like I wanted it to. It's like, ah. But that's all right. There's always redos, especially when it comes to food, because just redo it again and see what happens. Yes, I have coffee tonight. And then we got my Snoopy, Merry and Bright. Ham and Woodstock. So overall, I think it's doing pretty good of doing the Daniel fast. Now, you don't have to do 21 days, but they do a 21 day because Daniel prayed for 21 days before he got an answer. But you can do 3 days, you can do 7 days. Some people do 40 days or 41 days. I just did the 21 days the last time, and it cleared up my hand. When I started, I should have taken pictures. I know I should have taken pictures, and I didn't. And I was like, within 24 hours, this was clearing up so well. I was like, oh my goodness, here we go again. I was like, okay, then I can just, but that's why I made the raisin bread every night. And so I was like testing little things out as I went. And I didn't have the raisin bread didn't do this. So that was fine. And I'm like, okay, so let's add was the lunch meat because I had to take a break from doing the Daniel fast. And that's me. I talk so much, then I know like I get a dry throat. You know, regular coffee just doesn't do it. Coffee is just for the taste. It's not for anything else. It doesn't even keep me up. Hey, Robin. Yeah, look up the Daniel fast. Now a lot of people do different things different ways. So um, sometimes some of them say don't have any dairy. Some say have alternate like almond milk or your soy milk or the vegan cheese if you need to have those things and everything. It's a lots of fruits and vegetables. Now some people do no meat. Some people only do fish. Uh, I was doing no meat because I wanted to see if it was the hamburger again, regular hamburger. So the first few days, I was like I said, within 24 hours, that had cleared up and that was going down. And then we had inspection, so it took 3 days. I had to stop for 3 days, but I'll be picking back up starting tomorrow. Now tomorrow I'll go back. I'll have 2 eggs again. Of course, I'm in salt and pepper seasoning. Sometimes I'll use the garlic because that's also what I'm trying to find out. Is it the seasoning? And which seasoning is it? Is it the garlic powder? Is it the onion powder? Is it from what store we get? Or is it Walmart brand? Or is it the Sandwich Club brand? Or is it, then we have Myers brand. I'm just like, so, I don't know how they process it. You can always, that's something I did do the last time. I emailed companies that, we buy our food from. How is this processed? Is it processed on the same machinery as the other products that have dairy or whatever? Let's see here. Campbell soup. Let's see. Archway cookies, Campbell soup. I think it's all the same company. Let's see here. Archway cookies is made by. Oh, come on. I have nothing against Archway cookies. I love those things. We had them every year when I was growing up. The thing of it is they have milk in them, except for the pecan nougat ones. Well, let's see here. Who they made by? All right, so the raspberry fill contains sweet milk, eggs, soy, and coconut. So, but those are in big bold letters. All right, come on. All right, so that's Snyder Lance Company makes Archway cookies, but on on that pecan nougat, it's not. There's no milk. So I emailed them because Anastasia ate one, and oh boy, she really started having a reaction. I was like, "You're kidding me!" We looked at the package; it said no milk. It was processed on the same thing. The other things are processed with milk. It didn't even have that on there. And I was not so nice in my email because Anastasia could have really bad. Now, this is like a couple years ago, but you know, we could have been up in the hospital because of that. All right, so there's a company. I cannot find the what I'm looking for because I think they've kind of like all merged together. It's because Campbell's makes so much stuff. They make paste salsa. They have Campbell's soup. They have pea soup. They make the Petrus Farms, Prego, V8, Goldfish. So when you look up what they make, it's like more than just soup. So that's when you just email them and find out, hey, it's not on the label, but how is this processed in your facility? And they'll get the answer, or if you get somebody in customer service who doesn't know what you're talking about, then it's like, no, I want to speak to a supervisor or something. If you can call too and ask, is this product made on the same equipment? And they will tell you. So Archway Cookies emailed me back and they said, yes, it's processed on the same equipment as the other cookies, but we clean it in between. I'm like, how do you know it's completely clean in between and some residue didn't get stuck in there somewhere or another? I said, because my granddaughter had a bad reaction to it. I was like, you don't have it on your label that it's processed in the same facility as you process milk, eggs, blah, 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 blah. And, the customer service person, I was kind of going back and forth. And I was like, you want me to call the company? I'll call. And they find, oh, no, that's fine. I'll let them know what's going on. I don't think they ever did, but, stand firm with these companies because some states have it. I don't think it's a federal law, but they have standards down. FDA has standards that they have to put on the labels. What the food allergens, especially the main ones, but processed in the same facility as milk, eggs, soy, coconut, wheat, and shellfish, nuts, and everything that has to be on. That's why a lot of these food recalls have been going on, because the label, something on the label is missing that could cause someone to have a food reaction, their allergy flare up or whatever. They're talking about early morning. We've been up since 6:30 this morning. Tomorrow's another early morning.
Mommy has the Hershey squirts.
So, hold on. Oh, I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but that's okay. Yeah, so it's been a day, but that's what, as far as food allergies go, if it's not on there, why in the grocery store? I would call a customer, and they got a customer service number right there on the package. Hey, all your other stuff has label says dairy, there's this and this allergen or whatever. What about this product? Is it made on the same equipment as the others? There was something else that we got. I can't remember what it was now. That I emailed. And it was the same thing about the label. So then when I started hearing about this being recalled and that being recalled, because, they didn't put on the label, this food allergen is in there or this allergen's in there. I'm like, yeah, I know all about that. Just, but then, if they say, so many people got sick or something happened because, the person bought it and they had a food allergy and it wasn't on the label, come on, to me, do your due diligence. Make sure, like I said, it's got a customer service number on there. All right. We'll take Fritos for instance. Sorry about the crumbly. Questions or comments? 1-800-352-4477. Right there on the package. If you have a question, call right there. You're not in the grocery in the checkout line. You're right there in the aisle and everything. Everybody's on the phone nowadays. Call and ask, hey, I got this bag of Fritos. Is that all that you make is Fritos? Do you make other chips? Do y'all use the same equipment? What other chips do you make? Right, so we know Lay's has all kinds of things. You got your barbecue, you got your sour cream and onion. That's my favorite. The cheddar, and then they have plain, and then they have jalapeno. They've come out with all kinds of different flavors. All right, so we know Anastasia can have the barbecue potato chips. So this is Lay's barbecue potato chips. Look at that. 1-800-352-4477. That's the same name. Same number as the Fritos. Who would have thought about that? So yeah, pick up that bag. Give them a call. I'm standing in the aisle. Blah, 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 blah. You call and you get customer service. I need to know, is this still made on the same equipment as you make your sour cream and onion potato chips? They should be able to pull it up. If not, they should be able to get you an answer from someone else. So, and when you start seeing the same customer service number, then you can kind of click it all together. Oh, this company makes so much. Nabisco. That's who I was thinking about. So, let's see if I can get what brands that they make. I got Nabisco cookies, graham crackers, sugar wafers, chocolate wafers. Oh, Oreos, mini snacks, Nutter Butters, Ritz Bits. Alrighty. So let's see here. Premium saltine crackers. What else they got? Nabisco chocolate wafers, Nabisco vanilla sandwich cookies, the Sautéed biscuits. Let me see here. Toronto chocolates. Oh, there's my camera. There, look at all that. You will be surprised what one company makes. So I was like, I know they're supposed to have a list. Well, this is alrighty. Alright, so Nabisco, and this is from Wikipedia, but I know that because I knew people that worked at Nabisco. The Belvita, butter cheddars, cheese nips, Chips Ahoy, Big Newtons, and a biscuit. Lorna Doone, Nilla, Oreo, Premium, raisins, Ritz crackers, shredded wheat, Teddy Grahams, Triscuits, Wheat Thins, Zuzu Ginger Snaps. They make so many products that sometimes some things just slip through. Hey, Wendy, how you doing? Thank you so much. So sometimes things, well, Chips Ahoy, that's chocolate, you know, it's got milk in it. All those cookies got milk in it. Um, Now fig Newtons, you know, some of them don't, but are they all made on the same equipment? So now some things they say like, his products include Chips Ahoy, Belvita Oreo cookies, Ritz crackers, Teddy Grahams, Triscuit crackers, fig Newtons, and Wheat Thins for the United States, United Kingdom, Mexico, Bolivia, Venezuela, and other parts of South America. All Nabisco cookie and cracker products are branded Christie in Canada after Canadian baker William Mellis Christie's. Christie's flagship bakery in Toronto was demolished after Mandela shut it down in 2013. Nabisco opened corporate office as the National Biscuit Company in a home insurance building in the Chicago Loop in 1898, the world's first skyscraper. So, of course, they've got mergers and this, that, and the other. When they merged with Triscuit and shredded wheat cereal. Oh, also acquired a benefit company maker of milk bone dog biscuits. How about that? All right, so then Nabisco sold it to Beecham Group in 1982. Then in 1981, in 81 they merged with another brand, Standard Brands, maker of Planters Nuts, Baby Ruth, Butterfinger candy bars, Royal Gelatin, Fleischmann's, and Blue Bonnet margarines, among others. The company was then renamed Nabisco Brands. At that time, it also acquired the Lifesavers brand from E.R. Squibb Company, makers of Bubble Yum and Carefree Gum. Commercials were revised as a result of the merger by January 1983. Oh, so that's how all those commercials changed. So, and then 1985, Nabisco was bought by R.J. Reynolds from R.J.R. Nabisco. After 3 years of mixed results, the company became one of the hotspots in the 1980s, leveraged buyout mania. Okay. So, but, it's changed so much and everything. And, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's on Wikipedia if you want. So brands and products. The Oreo, Chips Ahoy, Lorna Doone cookies. I love those cookies. Nutter butters, but Nutter butters we can have because they have no milk. But you need to find out what is it processed on, what equipment. Premium saltines and original wheat thins. And here's a whole list. It says 100-calorie packs, arrowroot, bacon dippers, Belvita, butter cheddars, Cameo, Captain Tables, cheese nips, Chips Ahoy, chicken and a biscuit. I've seen those. We've had those all the time. Chocolate wafers, which was discontinued in 2023. Club Social, Corn Diggers, Crispers, which is in Canada. Dad's Cookies is in Canada. Dizzy Grizzles, Doodads. Fenoi de Oreo Sawai. I have no idea what that is. Veggie Oat Cookies is in Canada. Giggles. Good Thins, Heyday Cookie Bars. Honey Maid, Honey Man, and a Biscuit. Cool Stuff Toaster Pastry. Quaker Brand, and that's Kraker. Ornadoon. Mars Chocolate Marshmallow. Mr. Salty Pretzels. Nabisco Classics. Newton's, Nilla, which is short for vanilla wafers, Nutter Butters, Orchard Chips, Oreo, and then the list of variety of Oreos. We won't go there. Oreos, Saiwa, Saiwa, Pecans, Pacanz, Pirate, Potato Chips, Premium Plus, Premium Saltines, Ritz Crackers, Rice Thins, Royal Gelatin Dessert, Royal Lunch, C Rounds, Shredded Wheat, Social Tea, Sports, Stone Wheat Thins, and that was discontinued. Sugar Rings, Team Flakes, Titty Grams, Sensations, Toasted Chips, Toastettes, Twigs, Unita Biscuits, yours, whatever, Wheat Squares, Wheat Thins, Zuzu Ginger Snaps, and Sway Back Toast. That is a lot of products. And I'm quite sure, some of it's all over the world and some of it's in different places. There's a lot of stuff here. And also there are products that they make that don't even go all over the United States. Some of it's just the West Coast. Some of it's just the East Coast. And it's like, and I've found out when we lived in Missouri, if we go in the store, it's like, what this? We don't have this. We didn't have this in Virginia. I didn't have this in South Carolina. It was like, I found a healthy alternative to Oreos by Newman's Real Organic Sugar. Like, no. So, I'll go get the Tyson stuff in a minute. But I was just like, so many things, some of these companies that we grew up on now, we don't even realize that they've merged together over the years and everything, and this changed and that changed, and how one thing we could have at one time, and now we can't even have. So, that's what we couldn't figure out for a long time. I used to eat this, but, now when I eat it, something's different because maybe they changed one ingredient or they changed something else. So, we'll go with Kraft. We know Kraft cheese. Well, Kraft also has Heinz, Ore-Ida, Oscar Mayer, Kraft mac and cheese, Classico, Velveeta, Smart Ones, ABC, Capri Sun, Waddies, Kool-Aid, Weight Watchers, Heinz, Jell-O, Philadelphia Cream Cheese, Golden Circle, Lunchables. It's Pudlisky, Podlisky, Maxwell Health, Grey Poupon. Do you have any Grey Poupon? Excuse me, sir. Do you have any Grey Poupon? This is called Master, which I have no idea. Honing, Plasmon, and then Creo. Creos. Quero. So, there's Heinz Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, China, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Netherlands, New Zealand, Poland, Republic of the Philippines, Spain, Sweden, United Kingdom, United States. All right, so that are all the countries that Kraft is in and the products they make in those countries. So specifically in the United States, they make A1 sauce, Bagel Bites, Baker's Chocolate, Capri Sun, Classico, Clausen Pickles, Cool Whip, Country Time, Crystal Light, Delamex, Gevalia, Gevalia, which is the coffee I have up in the cabinet. Grey Poupon, Heinz Gravy, Heinz Ketchup, Heinz Seed, Heinz Vinegar, Jell-O, Jet Puff, just crack an egg, Kool-Aid, Kraft barbecue sauce, Kraft food service, Kraft Heinz ingredients, Kraft mac and cheese, Kraft salad dressing, Kraft singles, Leah and Perrins. Here we know that's Worcestershire sauce, Lunchables, Maxwell House, Mio, Miracle Whip, Orida, Oscar Mayer, Philadelphia cream cheese, Primal Kitchen. I had no idea they made Primal Kitchen, but that's dairy free. If y'all didn't know, Primal Kitchen is dairy free. Yes, the big guys bought out everybody. You better believe it. Shake and Bake, Stovetop, Sure Gel, Taco Bell, TGI Fridays, Velveeta, and Smart Ones. So it's all about doing your research and looking it up. And, you know, some customer service people may know some things. If you don't get an answer that you like and everything, just politely say, thank you. Give it about 10 minutes and call back. Because sometimes when you do, you'll get somebody who's been there for a long time and they'll have the answer. Because I've done it too. I was like, okay, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand what I'm saying. And I politely say thank you. Thank you for your help and everything. And then I'll wait a few minutes and I'll call back and I'll get somebody who's been there for a while and everything. And I'm like, will you please start educating the young people that are coming in and let them know what's going on and how to answer questions or something other, and just be polite. My grandmother used to say, you can get more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. Let me get this bag. I'm kind of curious. So this is the Tyson chicken patties. This is what we had. So white meat chicken, water, wheat flour, contains 2% or less of brown sugar, dried garlic, dried onion, dried yeast, extracts of paprika, food starch, natural flavor. Well, what's the natural flavor? They're not going to tell you because I call and ask stuff like that. Oat fiber, salt, spices, wheat starch, white whole wheat flour, yellow corn flour, breading set, and vegetable oil. That makes sense. Anyway, it contains wheat. Well, yeah, you contain a lot of wheat. Like wheat flour, and then you got food starch. You got another flavor, wheat starch, and then you got whole wheat flour. So that's 3 wheat flours there, and then the corn flour. So I'm just wondering, because paprika is, if you don't know, paprika is made by red peppers. It's made from red peppers. So, according to what's that package, I should have been able to eat that, have no reaction whatsoever, no itching or anything else. So now I know because my knees itch, my arms itching. Y'all see me scratch my eye because my eyes are itching. And then here's the thing, my eyes water, so I'm doing this because my eyes are watering. But then this right here is dry, and I was like, how are my eyes dry and watering at the same time? Well, it's not the eyeballs itself that's watering, but it's dry right through here. I think I showed y'all this a few months ago, but when I have a flare up and it's on this side right here, and right here gets really red and it puffs right there, it looks like it's like a cross, an X right here. Well, that's from an accident. I was like 6 or 7 years old. So my brother and I were racing from fence to fence, and the momentum, and I got to the fence, and I stopped, but my body kept going. And the metal fences that have those little prongs that still stick out. That went right here, and oh, my brother had a cat. He just went on. She poked her out. She poked her out. He's just crazy, and I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm good. What in the world they use on the label that means some ingredients are made in a lab? It slipped my mind. Yeah, I think now they're putting that on there that some ingredients are made in a lab or something like that. I don't think it was on that one. Let me get it again. It says white meat chicken, water, wheat flour contains 2% or less of brown sugar, dried garlic, dried onion, dried yeast, extracts of paprika, food starch, natural flavor, oat fiber, salt, spices, wheat starch, white whole wheat flour, yellow corn flour, breading set, and vegetable oil. So, I don't know. I just know that whatever it was has made me itch. I don't see anything on my fingers, and I'm hoping I don't, because those hurt. I think, yeah, if y'all can see my pinky, that finally has cleared up. I get it right in the camera. Because when I started doing the Wednesday night, when I was having reactions, you can see those it looked like little white blisters, just like if you had a 2nd-degree sunburn or a 3rd-degree sunburn. And then, it would blister up, being in clusters, and then they would pop. It's just be water. There's nothing else in it. It's just like a little blister like that. Bioengineering. Yep, that's right. Bioengineering. So, and that's all stopped. That's all stopped. So I'm glad about that. But I was like, oh my goodness. Especially last night after eating those chicken nuggets. I was like, you're kidding me? And hey, Lulu. Hey, Cindy. And I didn't want to. So tonight we couldn't really fix dinner or pull out the pans to cook and everything because they start cooking around 3:30 because they want to keep Anastasia's as OIT, her immunology therapy's got to be around the same time she takes it every night. So, but we cook around 3:30 or so, depending what the meal is, and they're cooking a really big meal, which normally we would have, but with the inspection today and then coming in and maintenance is always lying about stuff. So we did the quick and easy stuff tonight. So after I had that chicken patty, I started itching and this flared up again. So let me see. Like I said, if I put lotion on it, it goes down. Because I'll sit here and put lotion on it. Normally it goes down. So it went down just a little bit. Not by much. But then it looks like a bruise that's going away. So it's like, I just want it to go away all the way together. I gotta go save me some water. I don't like this coffee. I'll tell you what I did. So I was making some instant coffee. I was just going to have 1 cup, and I forgot I had made extra coffee in the coffee pot. So I just filled it up with water, poured it in, and hit start. And I forgot to clean out the coffee filter. We still had coffee grains in it. And I'm like, oh, let's just try and see what this is going to be like. Have the instant coffee with that. Yeah, now that's a no go. Just like, it's like, oh, well, just trying something different. So I'll make my notes about what I ate tonight, which I had already written down because I knew what I was having for dinner because we had already pre-planned it. And say I'll put itching. So we ate. It'll be 4:30, 5 o'clock. So about 3 hours later, I was itching, and it's still itching. So I was just like, okay. So tomorrow, and this is kind of weird, but I'm glad it happens. As soon as I start eating, I guess you want to stay eating clean, whatever. I'll have my eggs, and then I'll have, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for lunch. I still have lettuce. I can still make another salad because I got chickpeas. I can still have a bunch of chickpeas I can have and everything, and some radishes. Put a turnip in there. I gotta cut my celery up and everything, and have a salad. I'll just drizzle some olive oil on it, and I'll put some salt and pepper in it, and I'll just have that for lunch. Now, I know tomorrow night they're having chicken. I don't know what veggies they're having, but I won't have the chicken tomorrow night. Probably no. I'm not going to have the chicken tomorrow night. I'll just put it in a Ziploc bag that's mine, and just put it to the side or put it in the freezer because I still have that out of air freeze saver. I can put it in one of those bags, put it in the and put it in the freezer, and then that way, once I'm finished, I've got stuff I can eat to do a low carb meal. Oh yeah, it does sound good. So I have celery, and I've got a turnip, radishes, lettuce. I got the chickpeas. I do have a can of beets. I can open that and put some beets into my salad and everything. And then just make it fun. Now I've got, like I said, the honey mustard dressing, but like on the Daniel fast, not the biblical nutritionists, they don't do sugar, but I just can't go with it. I have stevia, and this is by Splenda, but this is what I use, and I have to have my coffee with something in it. If I'm drinking black coffee, it's because it's not a necessity, or it's out of necessity. Yeah, it's out of a necessity because something's gone down and you can't get the sugar. you know. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna start back up with tomorrow. Now I got enough eggs for like 2 weeks or more, but I don't want to eat eggs every day. Though you can eat eggs every day because I was watching a thing with Dr. Berg, and he was talking about how good eggs are for you, and they don't cause the cholesterol like some people think. I'm like, I know it doesn't. I did that test on myself. 8 eggs every day for a month and everything. Right before I went to the doctor and had blood work done. Nope. My cholesterol's good. It's good. And actually, it's kind of like on the lower side of it anyway. So it's like, yeah, that's not what causes cholesterol. So, and then I'll try to take pictures and post and everything, but my SD card is getting full. So I was like, well, I've kind of like spaced stuff out till I get a new SD card. I'll get one of those next month. And then, start, posting more. Then I will also talk about, I'll leave the best for last. The mullen. Now, this is the one from Horback that I'm getting, but this one has the vegetable glycerin instead of made with the alcohol tincture. So this is a vegetable glycerin base. With that, if y'all go to where it says all my affiliate links, I'm an Amazon affiliate now. So the vitamins and everything I found that's in those links are all vegan. I guess you would say vegan, but they're made with vegetable capsules instead, because the other capsules are made from gelatin. Gelatin is mostly made from pigs or whatever that's left over from the cows or whatever they use to make gelatin. And you see, that's the thing, man. We used to have Jello salads all the time growing up. Oh my goodness. I remember those things in the 70s. It was a fruit salad. It was kind of salad. Then there was this kind of Jello and that kind of Jello. And then you had the Watergate salad. Then the pistachio salad. And this, that. And then there was, I think it was Betty Crocker. It came out with a book of just Jello things that you can make with Jello. And never had any issues with it whatsoever. The vitamins I was getting, I was thinking that the gel, like the vitamin D gel, was made out of gelatin. And then the capsule fill I had, and I was like, couldn't I figure out why I was coughing all the time? And I'm like, what in the world? I was like, I'm not taking anything to make me cough. And when we realized that it was the alpha gall, and I was like, oh no. So I started looking at all the labels, this had gelatin, and what was that gelatin? Then looking up and everything, I'm like, oh my goodness. So then I had to, that's why the liquid, the vegetable glycerin, and the different stuff have changed over the years and everything, because I'm like, I noticed, yes, even the blood work says no, I don't have it. The allergist that I saw, they said it could be borderline, and it not just show up. So they say just, every so often test and see if you can have it. If not, just lay off of it and everything. So when it comes to vitamins and herbs and all I take, I have to watch what I take. All right, without hitting that box. That's Anastasia's birthday. Oh yeah, I'll plug into that for y'all too. All right, so can I find? And then the Amazon links, if you just click on one of them, it'll still be able. You can go to your Amazon and then log in and still do stuff. Sounds like good karma. I've never made those. Yeah. I was like, hey, Karma, what did you make? Have you ever made truffles? Oh, yes. You can change them up to make different flavors. Use them as bread or for a sandwich. Yes. The little waffle thing that I have to show that I made the eggs, that's what it is. Instead of when it gets fluffy, you just keep it, you just let it sit, and it gets crispier. Almost toasted like you do on a toasted cheese sandwich, but you just let it cook longer and it gets toasted and more, I won't say stuff, and then you can use it like sandwiches. Oh yeah, yes he does. Oh, that's cool. Y'all can listen. Now y'all listening. So these are the capsules I found. And they're on Amazon. I'll go back and put a link to them because the capsule fill, now I had some that are some that are a vegetable capsule, but the most of theirs are bovine. But this is made out of vegetable cellulose. F, D, and C, of course, it's red, number 3, red, number 40, blue 1, because I want the color ones. I have ran out of my beet because I have beetroot powder, and I haven't made any more. My turmeric, I started putting it in the season in my food, so I haven't made any more. So I'm just like, and of course, cheese. Yes, you can make cheese truffles too, and that's the same way. If you just let it sit to where it gets like a toasted type thing, and then it comes out. Or you can toast it. You can take cheese and put like shredded cheese and put it like in little mounds and everything. Put it on a parchment paper. Take your sheet pan, put it on parchment paper. Put those cheese or Parmesan or whichever one, the shredded, put it there. Or you take block cheese, do the same thing. Put it in your oven for a few minutes, let it toast and melt and everything, and like toast it up, and it's like little cheese chips. It's so good. Now these are vitamin E. So they got me a whole thing of vitamin E. Now this was before we even realized about gelatin, bovine, glycerin, and purified water. Oh, that's the gelatin capsule. I can't take these. So we still have it in case of an emergency. But I'm just like, even in that emergency, if I had to take it, I'm still hesitant. Do I really want to do that or not? So, hey, it'd make a good bargain. Bargain. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, barter. That's what I'm talking about, bartering. Barter for something else. There you go. There you go. Thanks. Like I said, it's been a long day. But I'm okay. So I've been taking the mullein in the morning, and I noticed that my coughing it really helps with my coughing. And my lungs, I feel like I can breathe better. So now it's the nighttime and everything's, it's all getting clogged up. So I might start taking this at nighttime. Maybe. Because, drum roll. Here is the black walnut wormwood that I've been taking. So I started off, and I've been taking this. Will be a week tomorrow, both of them. With the 14, it says 14 to 56 drops. So I started with the 14 drops. And yes, I do have some apple juice because that stuff is, oh my gosh. It got on my tongue because I was doing it with water at first. So I just put a little bit of water in my mouth and put the droppers in. Oh my goodness. That stuff, that is worse. That is worse than something else I was taking. What is it again? What is it? All right. Tell me what you're talking about, Robin. Oh, this is worse than that magnesium liquid that I have. A local farmland sells homemade elderberry syrup, and I've been taking 1 tablespoon of that instead of the store-bought gummies. I feel a difference. Oh, yes, definitely. I had some dried elderberries, and I made my own, which was fun because making your own gummies. And then it's like, so I had to throw what's in the jar that helps me cough? The mullein. It's called mullein leaf. Mullein. Now, the products that are in my affiliate links, some of those are like herbs and stuff in there, and that link also. But you just have to click on one of them, and then now you know how that goes. You get I get a little percentage, so that helps me out. And yes, I use my own affiliate link to help myself out. Yes. So I've been doing that in the morning, and it's been really helping. But there was one product. Let me see. Let me get to it. Because I looked at these products before I posted them. Well, because I have food allergies, but everybody's different, and I know that. And some people can have stuff that goes through my mind. My mind's thinking, okay, look for stuff that people have food allergies. But then I click on look at something like, oh, that's got gelatin capsule, and I've got to realize, oh, there's people who can have that too, and sometimes I'm just like I forget. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, so I just put that in there. I go to that's it, that one. Don't sit there and tell me y'all gonna go do the jackery all over the jackery. All right, that's oh my goodness. All right, I'll have to go back in and fix that. That was like tonight. I was sitting there and I get notifications for both channels if someone's made a comment or something. And I've got to go fix these. Okay. Garden for Life. So I clicked on my link. It took me to Garden for Life elderberry. So then you just log into your stuff and whatever you click on to buy. All right. I've used this before and I can still use that again. But that's not what I was looking at. Oh my goodness. All right. So I have to go back in there. But anyway, there's some other brands that I had on there that were supposed to be there. I looked them up and they have the vegan capsules or they're liquid. I prefer the liquid because after a while, it's hard to swallow capsules all the time. Exactly. Yeah. So, like Garden for Life, I've used. I was trying to think of the other brand that I looked up. Oh, come on. Balin Health. That's what it's called. I think. Hold on. No, that's not. Yeah. It's called Balin Health. I'll go back and put that link in there tomorrow. It has all right, so it's like it has the turmeric capsules. The turmeric. That has most of what I was finding had vegan capsules, if that's what people are looking to take because they don't want to take the gelatin capsules. So that's what I was doing today. Oh yeah, elderberry has tons of benefits, and I love it. Elderberry, it just to me, I like it. It tastes really good. So the black walnut wormwood. Last night I started up. So it's the way it says is to start off with the 14 drops, and then you build up to where you have a half to a 2 milliliter, and then you do it for 2 weeks. So now that no, tomorrow marks 1 week I've been taking it. So last night I did 30 drops. Tonight I'll do 30 drops, and then by Friday or Saturday I'll get it up to the 656. But it says to take it 2 to 3 times a day. I've been taking it at nighttime because I want to see would that help me sleep, or is other things I'm doing helping me sleep. I know the magnesium helps. It helps with my sciatic at nighttime because I used to lay in the bed, especially my left leg, and it would jerk. My left, and just jerk. And I'm just like, my son goes, "You got restless leg syndrome." I'm like, I don't have that. I know that's not what I have. And so, because what it is just the sciatic nerve. It's pinched so much, and that my leg's just jerking, trying to get relief. So I have the magnesium oxide and the glycinate. Well, the oxide is a tablet form, and the glycinate is capsule. And I take it before I go to bed, and I'm like, I don't feel like taking this. It's like. But then I had the magnesium glycinate in liquid, but that stuff is so nasty. That's worse than the taste of, I'm going to tell you, the taste of this and the taste of that magnesium is worse than taking castor oil they used to give us as kids. It's like, I want to take that. This stuff is like, I'm still learning about how to use it, but cooking and tea mostly. Oh, yeah. That's what's happening yours. Yeah. My L5 fused and S1 fused itself together. So that's just bone on bone. There's no disc there anymore. We found that out 2020, 2020, 2021. I think it was 2020. Somewhere around there. And they did a CT scan because I told my son just take me to the hospital because I'm just like, just leave me there. At that time, I said, just leave me there. I was hurting so bad. And the guy came out, he goes, and that's when they sent me to this specialist and that specialist. And then that one goes, oh no, it's this and that and the other because he couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm just like, doctors just be quiet. And you don't know what's going on and you don't know what to do. So that's when I found out that the L5 has fused itself to S1. Magnesium cream to see if that helps my back and sciatica. Yeah, do that. I got that too. And I'm like, I've got the cream over there. Like I said, I got to put all the stuff away, not hide it, but put it in the cubby thing and, put it away. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I was like, okay, Lord, we want a house. It's time for us to have a house. So if I want to have all my vitamins laid up, on my shelf, instead of have to reach around in the little drawer thing and pull everything out, I want them all up on my shelf. I have the stuff to make me. I just read that. Yes, because that's easy. That's an easy thing to do, also, because that helps. What's in it. The shea butter and magnesium. I don't know if I've got a video on that or not. But I know you take and make the magnesium with the water first, then you make it with the shea butter. So I've got stuff to make myself and everything, and I'm like, do this one day, do this next day, this the next day, videos on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or sometimes I end up doing all on videos on Sunday. Then I edit on Monday, and then oh, I had Roy and Maria, Nisha. Nisha, I don't know how she missed us. The video that I dropped tonight on cooking dairy free. I fixed it and everything. I put it all together, uploaded it, and like I said, I get a message of when people comment, and Roy Maria goes, "There's no video, Nancy." I'm like, "Oh, you were kidding me! What in the world happened?" So of course I go and look, and it's like, so I have to take that. I didn't take it off. I just unlisted it, went back and edited everything again before the live, and upload it so that tomorrow I can go in tomorrow morning and put all the description and everything in it. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I have both of those. I just have to find where I saw the directions. I know. I go back to my watch later stuff and I'm just like, okay, I delete. I go, I will need to write that down. Delete. I'm not going to watch this. I'm like 700 and some videos in my watch later. I'm just like, okay, I have got a lot of stuff to do that I was like, I don't want to do. So I was like, I always put more into watch later. And it's like, that watch later never happens. So I'm like, oh, I've watched the video, but I saved it so I can go back and write down how to make something, whether it's cooking or something with herbs. Then I found a book over there. It was my Bibles. And I thought it was my green notebook, like the marble notebook, and for a prayer list and everything. And it was like, oh no, all the old recipes of stuff where I made lip balms and lotions and this, that, and the other. I'm just like, okay, I gotta go through that and see if everything still works or not. Then the other day, I got new candle wicks, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna make new candles and everything. Sat down, start working on the computer and stuff, and before you know it, the day's gone. I'm just like, oh. One day, I'm just gonna like close the computer and do stuff all over here that needs to be done. Because, like I said, I've got those cookbooks that I want to go through and start cooking through them and everything, which we used to, but now I can change them up and everything. So, but that's, have I seen any difference with the black walnut? Yes and no. Without being graphic. I don't know. All right. So in the morning, I go to the bathroom, and it's in the morning, but there's a lot. So it is flushing my system out. Now, normally when you, like with my low carb and everything, you're supposed to go have a bowel movement 2 or 3 times a day, at least twice a day. And some days I do, some days I don't. That's why I'm doing this, because I'm like, something's not right with something or another. So I'm doing that. And then I'm going to start back on the Daniel fast tomorrow. But I'm just like, as far as feeling better, energy wise and mental clarity, I have noticed a difference. And that could be a couple other things also. The way I'm eating the Daniel, but the Daniel fast is the way I eat all the time anyway, except for at dinner time when we have chicken, or if I was, right, so spaghetti is hamburger, or they make, my son makes the best chili. I was like, oh my goodness. So when he made the chili last week, I had one bowl, but I didn't have chili the next day because they do it like a 2 dinner thing so that he didn't have to. He cooks on Thursday, so my daughter-in-law doesn't have to cook Friday night. So they make chicken noodle soup last week, and I was like, that was so hard. It was really hard not to have any of that chicken noodle soup. And I was like, oh, I can have the noodles and the vegetables. And they're like, no, because the chicken's in there and I still have the flavor of the chicken. I have big problems in that area when it hits 2 weeks of nothing. And yes, I understand that. Now, I don't know if they say fiber, it depends on who you listen to and everything, but I've always learned when I've had more fiber in my body, eat more fiber, or they say roughage is like salads, whatever, my system starts working better. I did notice when I try to do a 3-day fast without eating, my body just said, nope, we're not going to the bathroom. Of course, I went number one, but number two was like, nope, we're not doing it. I'm just like, what the world is going on? This isn't working. Oh, this, when I eat, and especially if I try not to skip meals. Now there's intermittent fasting that they suggest and everything, which some days I do anyway because we get up at 8:30, 8 o'clock to get Anastasia up. And they go, you don't have to get up at 8 o'clock. I'm like, I know that, but if I don't get up at 8 o'clock, at least get myself up, do my devotions, read what I want to read, pray and everything, then when I end up, or if I got up at 9:30 or whatever, then the rest of my morning, I'm just like, I've got stuff to do. So I was like, it's just better for me to get up. Now, I may not get up out of the bed until 9 o'clock or so. Well, that's because I'm laying there just reading and catching up on email and everything for the morning that I got overnight. Looking to see if there's comments. And sometimes sometimes it's Tuesdays, sometimes it's Thursdays, or whatever day I get to it, and one day just do all the comments. Whole oats for me, exactly. Now, I know when I eat oatmeal with my blueberries, for some reason it helps clean my system out, and I'm just like, I think it's the blueberries, because I like blueberries. But oats is fiber. Now I have the milled flaxseed. So I'll add flaxseed. Now I made the raisin bread. I added flaxseed to it because not only raisins are good for you to help with fiber and everything, and then the flaxseed will help with fiber. But flaxseed also helps with your joints. And I learned that at GNC when I was working there about flaxseed. It's a fiber. It's like a lubricant type thing for your joints. That helps with your joints. So as one person came in and asked, and I was telling them about flaxseed because they had arthritis, and I said, well, my suggestion, because you can't say, even back then you couldn't say anything, but my suggestion, this is what I've been reading about, that's how flaxseed is like. Think of lubrication in your car, and your oil for your engine and everything. That needs stuff to make it work, so does our body. Yep, flaxseed's good for the heart. That's what I do. It's good in smoothies. It's good in oatmeal. It's good in your bread. Oh, you're welcome. And then let's see, what else did I say? So I put it in my smoothies. I made it and put it in my bread. I only feel like I don't know. I just eyeball it. It could be a tablespoon. It may be 2 tablespoons in the bread. And then with my oatmeal. Now, if you get the seeds, the flax seeds itself, you can put it in your cereal. Um, and you put those in the bread and everything. Just be careful because the seeds. Oh, this is hilarious. It's not hilarious, but it is. Because if you have a flaxseed, it will remind you of something else, and you'll be like trying to squish a bug. It's not a bug. It was so funny because, like a lot of the warmer things that you can heat up in the oven. I mean, in the microwave. Those wraps, they have rice and flaxseed in it, so it keeps the heat. So they had my daughter-in-law we got her a dog one years and years ago, and this was like we got her that like 2014. But we've had it that long, but this is like 4 years or so ago. Anastasia had it, and it was in their room, and she was like, "How'd you get those flax? What's in my bed?" And she was freaking out. And I had the little doggy had a hole in it, so it was rice and the flaxseed in the bed. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I got bugs in my bread." Yeah, oh, we go get it. That's funny. All right, so I got the Bob's Red Mill flaxseed. All right, let's see if I can find one. Because sometimes it doesn't all get. And you can buy the whole and do this yourself. Stay. And they have a nutty taste to them. So it's like almost like, I just squished it. Almost like a sunflower type nutty taste. No, don't fall. So this is the best way I'm going to do this. I'm going to hold it in my finger. See if y'all can see it. There you go. That's a flaxseed. And like I said, it's far away. You don't play a joke on somebody. It's a bad joke, but ground is easier. Like I said, I'll stick that back in there. So this is what ground looks like. It's like that. And that's what I put in, like Misha said, in your oatmeal and my breads. I guess I have never put in fudge because they're the ones that make the fudge and not me. So I have to try and see when I make something for myself. But I've learned that when I eat more stuff with fiber and everything, I go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times a day. I'm trying to think. Now, like back when I did the low carb the first time, oh yeah, I drank plenty of water. Oh, I was at 230. In 6 months or so, I was at 160. And then and that's doing it was no carbs for breakfast, no carbs for lunch, and ate my dinner. So I try to do that again. And some days are better than others, but I'm just like, oh, with the Daniel fast, what I like about that, you can still do the low carbs with it that way, but then I feel like I can eat more instead of just having no carbs for lunch, breakfast, no carbs for lunch, and then my dinner, I do have a snack. And my energy bites, oats, honey, PB, flax, and chocolate chips. Yep. Now on the cooking channel, I made one they're called energy balls. It was prunes. Prunes are good also. Prunes, pumpkin seeds, and I used the oat flour because the flour, whatever they used, I didn't have. And I used oat flour and made those. Anastasia likes those. So, when Anastasia likes something like that, that's like a win-win. I was like, yeah. But then you got cranberries, dried cranberries. That's good also. If you don't want raisins or too sweet, or just try to change it up a little bit between the cranberries and the raisins. And then what else? The peanut butter. That's what I had. What night was that? Yeah, was telling everybody earlier. The peanut butter, when I had the peanut butter, I started itching. But like I said, we had the windows open and everything. So I don't know. Now I did find some Jello. I don't know if I can get to it now. I put so much stuff underneath here. Now this Jello, the gel peaches, they have water, peaches, sugar, carrageenan, natural and artificial flavors, locust bean gum, concoction. I don't have no idea. COCHINEL extract color. Malic acid, FUMARIC acid. Sodium citrate, potassium citrate, and ascorbic acid, vitamin C to promote color retention. My main thing was it didn't have any gelatin in it. So companies are coming around to where they know that people have allergies and gearing towards that also, because I think that was probably one of the best things that came out of 2020 was companies were realizing, oh, there's people who have food allergies, or like my son was thinking somebody in the company, all right, so we say Chips Ahoy, Nestle. Somebody up in the higher executive, somebody's had a child that had food allergies, and then all of a sudden they start making stuff both ways. But I was like, I had tried those. I didn't have any reaction to it and everything. So I was like, oh, good. I can have a snack. But with that I can take and if I wanted to, dump that out into a bowl and add some other stuff to it, and then have a good snack. But that's, to me, is why I write everything down, so that I would know, okay, I had this for breakfast, no, nothing. I had this for lunch, nothing. And then for dinner, I'm like, oh, a couple hours later, I'm itching. This is most of the time it's the hand that starts, and it's always the thumbs. Hey, Paul, cranberry in season right now. $1.24 a bag. Fresh cranberries. Oh yes, I like fresh cranberries. And it was the hand starts itching, or now it's the eyes, and I'm just like, Okay, what did I eat? What did I touch? Where did I go? Because once you have all that reaction and all the stuff that happens, then it's not. It is a little bit of stress, but it's not. But then you're back. Then it's like, okay. Then you start thinking, and you're trying to remember what you had and everything. Well, between especially if you get up at 6:30 in the morning, and it's after midnight here. Would I remember? I remember. Do I remember? No, So I write down. Actually, I should write down. Actually, no, I didn't have no breakfast. I had coffee and water. We didn't eat till like 11 o'clock to kind of lunch. But like I said, I had the Land O'Lakes chicken, and I had some Fritos, and I had on the bread that we bought, and that bread has milk or processed in a facility to process milk products or whatever. No reaction. Anastasia's had that bread. She does good with that bread. There was no reaction. But I had that chicken patty, and I've been itching ever since. So that's how I do things, to see what I'm taking, what helps me, what helps clear this up. So tomorrow, as I start eating back onto the Daniel fast, within 24 hours, I'll take a picture tonight with this, so because y'all can see what it looks like. And then tomorrow I'll take a picture, put it in the post, and in 24 hours, it's like, it's a difference between night and day. So there's no more, nothing against Tyson. It's just something they use in their products and I've called and I've asked, I've emailed and asked, what are spices that they use? What are the spices? Can you tell me? I have food allergies. What's the spices? It says spices. What are those spices? We can't give out that information. I'm like, people have food allergies. They need to know what is in that. Well, that's a secret, and we can't give it out. That's not the correct answer, people. So that's like, that's not the correct answer. And believe me, I back up Maha a whole lot, because the companies should be telling people what they put in their products. Because, all right, so you may not have a full blown allergy, but you have a sensitivity to it. You need to know. Spices. Well, spices could be from turmeric, ginger, basil, thyme, oregano, saffron, you name it, keep on going. But they're not going to tell you what it is. That's for a long time we all try to figure out Kentucky Fried Chicken. It said 11 herbs and spices. Well, somebody cracked that code. Or somebody in the company just accidentally let it get out. Well, one of the things is in there is paprika. That was on the bag, it was paprika in there. Well, which red peppers did you use to make the paprika? What company did you use to get the paprika from? Because we've tested that out with different spices here. We do a lot of the Kinder spices, and then my son has like the store brand paprika. Forget it, the store brand, forget it. I can't have it. But whatever is in Kinder, it doesn't bother me. So it's a lot of stuff that goes into really researching and calling and asking and just never give up, because they've got to give you an answer. And, if they don't, we got social media. It will get to them one way or another that you've called and asked and they don't give answers. They'll get the message one way or another. They'll get the message. So yeah, the mullein works really well. And then let's see, I can't, my computer. I was like, I've tried to if I have the tab up before I start the live, I can have a tab up in my live. But if I try to do it while it's doing on live, it won't do it at all. But this black walnut has the black walnut, the wormwood, and the clove and sweet anise extract in it. That's why I got it, because it has the blend that the doctor has suggested. So yeah, now I need to just start taking it, which is tomorrow. I'll start taking it twice a day. But I'm going to take it with food also, because, all right, good night, Cindy. I'm going to end here in a few minutes. To me, when I take vitamins and everything, it just does better for me when I take it with food. And that's how as between the mind and the throat talking to back and forth to each other. So, but I want to thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for in the chat. Thank you for y'all watching on the TV and everything. I have really enjoyed it. Next week I won't go so long, because next week I gotta be up early for the doctor's visit. But tomorrow is my late afternoon and everything. But I'll let y'all know what's so far so good with the shots going on. So I'm glad about that. So thank y'all for being here. We love y'all. Thank y'all for in the chat, those TV watchers, those who watch the replay. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed night. God bless. Stay safe. We love y'all. And we'll see you next time on Our Treasure Home. That's not how I usually say it. It's usually God bless. Stay safe. We love y'all. And see you next time. I ain't saying it still. We'll see you next time on Our Treasure Home.